say, hey, listen, I'm not going to give you a second date unless you pay the bill. If you're a man and if that woman is genuinely interested in you, if she's attracted to you, she doesn't care if you don't even take her out on a date in the first place. This is lies that men are sold because they want to have those good little simps. They want to have orbiters. They want to have dudes who will give them crap. The men who are attractive to these women don't pay a damn thing. And guess what? These women still chase them. I'm so sick of hearing this stuff. Oh, if a man doesn't pay the bill, then I won't do this, says the woman who's been with like 5,000 dudes, none of which had to pay anything for her. So listen, if you want a man to pay for your stuff, men are typically only willing to pay, at least self-respecting ones, what the previous man paid. Now, if you mean to tell me that in order for me to make you my girlfriend and I'm going to take you seriously and I have to pay for everything, but the last guy who you had a hookup with didn't have to pay for anything, you can get the hell out of here with that nonsense.
Imagine if you and this man make the same amount of money and he's expected to pay for like first, second, third date and like the majority of stuff. Like, of course we pay for stuff too, but like...
No, you don't.
The guys are just expected. Like, if a guy does not pay for the first date, are you gonna go back out with him? No, probably not. Now, imagine your salary, but having to actually spend it on somebody else and still keep up the expensive habits that you have. Like, still keeping up your makeup, still keeping up your hair. The hair is expensive. We already know how much hair is.
I mean, do we? Like, what? I don't even know what's going on with this woman's hair. I have no idea. Is this like fake hair? I don't know, man. These women spend so much money on hair, and it's like their hair isn't even real. So like, what's the point? I don't know what's going on with these women, to be honest with you. But yeah, by the way, men spend this much money and they still get completely and utterly used for it. And then these women wonder why dudes don't want to deal with them anymore. Oh, you're not a real man unless you pay for dates. Okay, see you later. I don't care. You know, and many men don't care because you're not the type of woman that a man should be paying for anyway.
Still keeping up, I don't know, whatever your bad habit, mine is travel, whatever, and having to include another person. Like, damn, when that bill come, like, ugh, this motherfucker hungry again? Damn. God knows my heart. You know I couldn't take no extra struggle.
I think that was a very good point that she brought up, especially when a lot of women will love to brag about the fact that they make more money than the man that they are dating. So that's why I think we do see a lot of guys willing to go 50-50 and, you know, split the bill on a date, stuff like that, because guys are just sick or tired of the nonsense. Because a lot of guys are sick of dealing with ungrateful women who don't appreciate the fact that this man took her out, showed her a good time. We got a lot of women displaying ungrateful qualities, and a lot of men are just sick of it.
Yeah, so not only...
The first time I saw Spark, I thought it was a trick of the light. The way sunlight catches dust in the...
Right, do you have to pay for everything as a dude? But nobody even appreciates you for doing it anyway. I mean, again, this is a very hard sell to men. Okay, men, you have to go out there, you have to pay for everything, you have to be chivalrous, you have to do all of this stuff, right? Why? Because you're a man, and in return, you get a woman who's ungrateful, who's been with a whole bunch of dudes already, who hasn't been required to do any of that stuff. So no thank you. Let's keep going.
That's me why I don't go on dates. I have a date today, right? A little lunch date. She said 2 o'clock, it's 2:20. The question is, do I still pay for the bill that she showed up 20 minutes late?
No, you should have left.
I'm gonna let you answer that.
Why are you still there, man?
I'm not doing it. Another 10 minutes, I'm about to leave.
No, sir. Why are you waiting even longer? This is the problem that I have with dudes, man. Right? Is men will just put up with so much nonsense. It's been 20 minutes and she's not there, and you're considering waiting another 10 minutes. I wish that dudes had more self-respect, man. I wish that men actually cared about themselves more, because this is not the behavior of somebody who cares about themselves. I really do. I think the main problem that dudes have, right, you can take this with a grain of salt, just an animated vampire here talking my thoughts, but I think a lot of guys really don't care about themselves enough. Like, they actually don't. The people right? Women get advice all day. Oh, self-love, you know, this, that. I think men are the ones who need to develop maybe a little bit of self-love. I wouldn't even use the word self-love. I'd just say some self-respect, man. The woman's late on the date, you just get up and leave. Like, you don't owe this woman anything.
That's what I mean, y'all. Y'all be messing up a good thing. A good dude out here, man. Y'all want to be 20 minutes late for whatever reason.
Why every time I come in the house, you dancing and shit? You ain't never dance when the fuck I'm here.
I'm grown. I can dance when I want to. You toxic as fuck. I don't. I don't want to be with you no more.
Ah, yes, the straight away, straight to the yelling. Get the hell out of the house, then.
I swear to God.
Okay,
I'm straight on you. I'm straight on
give me
you.
back the phone that I bought you, Miss Smart Ass Mouth. Give me the keys to the car that I bought your ass. And give me the motherfucking goddamn watch.
Wow, you're a petty.
If you showing off for it,
Petty.
Ah, yes, the man is petty.
matter of fact, give me that damn hair that I bought you.
Ooh.
Oh, way.
Rest in peace.
I dated a professional athlete, great at what he does. There's not a lot of room for emotion to be involved. It's either true or it's not true, or you're gonna get your neck broken. He could date whoever he wanted or sleep with whoever he wanted. And we were like arguing about something, and I was like, well, why would you date me? If like, I'm the person you date if you want like a challenge. And he just
Men don't want a challenge. Like, this woman is misrepresenting this already. I guarantee you the dude wasn't out here saying that he wanted a challenge. Men don't want a woman who's going to challenge them, right? We don't want to... This guy's like a professional athlete. He gets challenged probably every day. He doesn't want to come home to you, who's also challenging him.
went, why would any man want a challenge
Yep.
in their relationship?
Yep.
In that moment, it was like, oh my God, I thought it was hot to you. I thought
No.
it was like what guys wanted. I thought it was like feisty. Like, I apologize.
Well, especially if you're dating somebody that is high performing in any realm, has goals. If you're working that hard in the office, you really want to come home and be like, right, there's that to-do list done. I wonder what fires I need to fight when I step through the front door as well.
Yeah, no man wants to do this, guys. Like, oh, men need to handle me. I need a man who's going to handle me. Woman, no man wants to handle a woman, especially the dudes who go out here and they work hard. It's crazy to me how women just, they don't listen to this, they don't understand it whatsoever, and they think that being difficult is somehow attractive to guys. Men are not interested in some form of challenge. Crazy to me that it's even still discussed, to be honest. What is this? Woman explains how she went through 900 men on dating app, but only matched with 2. So your average woman, essentially, on a dating app.
We need to talk about the state of dating. I actually went through 900 men on Hinge. That doesn't count the ones that I swiped through first, and I only matched with 2. Before
Sounds like a you
say,
problem.
lower your standards. I did that for 10 years. Look at where it got me. And then I raised my standards and okay, I'm getting love bombed and ghosted. I know I cannot be the only person dating that is like, what the fuck is this? How are there so many people on planet Earth? So many people on dating apps, yet we're all struggling. What baffles me even more, the people that aren't struggling. I have plenty of people that have met their significant other and have been happily married now for like even years from dating apps. They obviously work, but why aren't they working for me?
Because you're a psycho, and because your quote-unquote definition of standards is how attractive a man is. You didn't up your standards, you just upped how attractive the man has to be for you, right? Like, women conflate standards in behavior with standards in terms of physical attraction. You're chasing highly attractive men who have a whole bunch of options, and guess what? You being a psycho probably doesn't help those men choose you out of all of the options that they do indeed have. I mean, that's just the way it is, guys. Women are out here every day chasing the men who are highly attractive and then complaining that they can't lock those same men down. Wild, I know.
Yeah. I'm really not asking for a lot either. I'm just asking to be treated with respect.
Yeah, again, guys, don't fall for this crap, okay? This woman is just asking to be treated with respect. But the question is, who is she asking to be treated with respect by? The answer is highly attractive men. These highly attractive men are not interested in taking you out on dates and buying you flowers, madam. They're not interested in quote unquote respecting you. They are there for one thing and one thing only, which is a bit of fun. That's all. If you were to choose men who are more on your level, attractive-wise, then probably you would get dates and things like this. I mean, a lot of dudes are walking away from dating, but if you cannot get commitment and these sorts of things out of men, then to be honest, you're shopping out of your price range. But you don't want to hear that. You think that because you can end up in his bedroom, that means that he's interested in you. It doesn't.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not gonna like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm gonna let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
Just by the way, all of the women who actually need to hear a message like this, religious or otherwise, are never going to listen to this stuff. They're never going to listen to sense, right? Why? Because modern women genuinely do believe that it's all about them. They're not interested in helping men. They're not interested in providing value to a man. And this is why a lot of men are completely done with modern women. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your own thoughts and comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.
Why is instant ramen bad for you? Well, let's break it down. You know those typical instant noodles? The ones that are basically a sodium bomb with a side of guilt? Sure.
The truth about Twitch thoughts. The Twitch thought epidemic and its consequences. Big surprise. Guys, this is a crazy surprise that this got posted, get this, on my Reddit of all places. Can you believe that? There was a video critical of women and it was posted on my Reddit. Here we go.
Years ago, I made a video about how if you don't like seeing lewd things online, simply close your eyes and walk away. But what happens when you do close your eyes and walk away, but no matter where you walk away to, you bump right back into it. Whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, or even Twitch.
Ooh.
Dasani water. I'm gonna get canceled for this. All these years, and this is what's gonna get me canceled. I don't want to hear it from any water snobs, okay? Where are my fellow Dasani heads at? But anyway, do you like—
I only drink tap water, and I don't like drinking plain water from a bottle because I feel like the fecal matter and dead animals in tap water and glass makes it taste better.
The red hair? A lot of the Twitch thoughts that I'm gonna be talking about have red hair. I felt like I was missing out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the Twitch thought epidemic and its consequences, as well as OnlyFans culture and the desexualization of sex. I promise this won't make sense.
Desexualization of sex?
Maybe. Like all my videos are just kind of messy brain vomit. I mean, I guess that's one way you could be sure I'm not plagiarizing. When I start to sound smart and make sense, that's a red flag. I figured out how to use ChatGPT. So for those of you who are unaware, Twitch is a video game streaming website, or at least it used to be, where people—
I don't really think people. Yeah. How's this streamer doing on Twitch nowadays? I remember this guy was really big into StarCraft. Does he still play StarCraft? Yeah, whatever happened with that? Anyway, Twitch isn't really a gaming website anymore. It's primarily a gaming website, but even the CEO doesn't do gaming streams. So, like, I mean, you can't have a website where, like, the CEO says it's not a gaming website. Like, one of the most popular categories isn't gaming, like just chatting. Like, it's clearly not a gaming website. Now, for, like, a period of time, and this is what's kind of weird about, like, people that have, like, this perspective, is, like, Twitch has been around for, like, what, 12, 13 years? Like, if you include Justin TV. And the amount of time where Twitch actually required you to be playing a video game is tiny. It's like 3 years, 4 years. So it's not even the majority of the time that Twitch existed that these were the rules. But like people always go back and look at that. At least it used to be. Yeah, but like whenever it used to be a gaming platform, it used to not be a gaming platform as well. Because the person who created Justin TV created it to do IRL streaming. So it's like, I don't think that you can make an argument to tradition whenever the actual original tradition is not gaming in the first place. I don't think it's a strong argument.
Often stream themselves playing video games and interact with their viewers. But recently, in the past few years, it has been invaded by women. But not only women, naked women. Now you might be asking, shoot,
Unfortunately not naked
what is
anymore.
wrong with that? And normally, you'd be correct.
Yeah.
But Twitch is a website for kids, advertised for users 12 and up, and predominantly used by young boys. And the
where does it say right here? The Twitch demographic, not even counting our 16 to 24. I think this is disingenuous. I don't agree with this because, so you're looking at 16 to 24, and are we assuming that the 41% are in between 16 and 17? Because the majority of 16 to 24 is an adult male that can go and see a strip club. So I think it's a little bit disingenuous to include, you know, like people that are 23 whenever you're looking at a statistic trying to make an argument that it's hurting kids. Even if you assume that the same group of people, the same amount of people are consuming content, like, you know, it's divided evenly, like this 41% is a fraction of that. Like you're looking at 10%, something like that. Not counting 14 to 16, she's assuming. Well, yeah, of course, right? And like, who knows who's watching that, who has any idea? I mean, I think that one big factor, and this is something that a lot of people who have this conversation, I think that they don't really acknowledge this. And I think that it's evidence that the conversation is actually not a principled conversation. Is that if you go, and I'm gonna look something up, I'm gonna show it to you guys. Pornhub most searched terms. So if you look right over here at Pornhub, this is, they release a lot of like infographics every single year, naturally, right? And so the infographic here that they've released, this is for 2023. If you look at all of the most popular games that are searched for on Pornhub, these are all games that are for children. Fortnite is for children. The Chun-Li isn't her model from Street Fighter 6, it's her model from Fortnite. Like, look at Overwatch. Overwatch is kind of not, right? But Overwatch is also like the fucking gold standard for video game porn. You have Minecraft, Pokemon. Look at this. So like, these are some of the most popular games. Like you have Sonic, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog right here. Like, who's looking up Sonic the Hedgehog? Probably kids. And so I think the truth is that kids are always going to be able to access like not safe for work content. And I think that the focus that people put onto Twitch, as Twitch has some sort of a unique responsibility to prevent kids from seeing it, I don't think is fair. And I also don't think that people want to solve this problem either. Because if people wanted to solve this problem, the way you do it is with ID verification. But if you have ID verification, you also lose internet anonymity. So do you care about this problem? Yeah. Do you care about it enough to lose your anonymity? No, I don't. I think parents should exercise better discretion in taking care of their kids. So that's what I think. I think that the amount of kids that are watching Twitch is a pretty small amount. And also, a lot of the content for, I would say, like young adult boys, like, you know, 13-year-olds, I think that a lot of that's on Kick. Like, if you go watch like one of these Kick streamers, you want to see a lot of 13-year-olds, go to one of their streams. Like, kids are watching people like Aiden Ross. They're watching people like Kai. Like, Kai's on Twitch, for sure. But the majority of the W community is on other platforms as well. That's the kind of content that they're really watching. Like, whenever I was 14, I was watching bum fights. Who else was doing the same thing? Like, let's be honest. You know, boys watch way worse. I know. I did as a boy. Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, I feel like this is very, like, I don't think this is a principled argument. I don't at all. And also, like, there's a lot of websites, like, for example, on Twitter and on a lot of other social media websites, you're able to make an account on that website if you are if you're 13. So like any argument that and I think that there's like actual porn on Twitter where there's not really actual like hardcore porn on Twitch, right? I mean, maybe there's like one person who's streaming it for 20 minutes and they get banned. But for the most part, there's not really as many of them. Now, she's also using, give me 1 second. Let me actually just show this again.
Advertise for users 12
Yeah,
and
so this right here, this is a statement that's, this is taken from the Google App Store. It could be the Apple App Store as well. The Apple App Store is not the actual terms of service to use the website. I don't really care about like what the number is that's advertised on an app store. An app store is a third party. So, well, let me explain why it's important. Because it can say 12 and up, but you actually can't make an account if you're 12. You can't. Like, there's a literal law that prevents companies from having people under 12, or sorry, under 13 on social media. Yeah, and guys, don't say that because you will get actually banned. If you say that you're like really young or something like that. And so my point with this is that I feel like all social media has this problem, and also nobody actually wants to solve it. I personally I don't think any children, I don't think anybody, I'm gonna be very clear about this. I don't think anybody under the age of 18 should have any social media in any capacity unless it is a curated site that is made explicitly for children, like YouTube Kids. I don't think that a 15-year-old should be able to have an Instagram account at all, for any reason, period. Like, that's what I think. So I don't agree with this, and those are the reason why. Didn't you agree that this is a problem, though? No, I don't. I actually agree that it's a problem, but for a different reason. So, like, the problem that I see is that being on social media exposes children to predators. And it also does so in a way that makes the predators able to be predators without any level of accountability. And a great example that I can use for this is that if you look at TikTok lives, you'll see a lot of girls that are dancing. And I don't know how common this is, but it was like a very big epidemic. And these are girls of extremely questionable age, right? And you have these guys that are in the chat that are just watching and trying to pay them and DM them and stuff. It's horrible. It's really disgusting. So that's what the real that's the real harm. Like seeing a girl with like a black bar over a bikini, that's not really a big deal. Like, who gives a fuck about this? I'm talking about like guys that are actually trying to meet underage girls in real life. And that's why I think that kids shouldn't be on social media. This is just like some fucking like, this isn't even a footnote. It's not even part of the conversation. Whataboutism? Well, no, it's not whataboutism. What I'm saying is that my perspective on this is actually not informed at all by Twitch thoughts. It's something that I think is a lot bigger than that. Do you think Microsoft Teams would be under the category of social media? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I don't want to get into like specifics. I mean, I'm just talking about like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like, I'd have to look into that. Why doesn't Twitch allow full nudity then? Probably for advertisers. I think that's really the main reason. They don't do it for advertisers. And the truth is that, like, for example, if advertisers were okay with full nudity, then they would be okay with it. It's the same reason why there's a lot of nudity, as far as I know. I remember growing up, I'd hear this a lot, is that, sorry, it's probably 10 minutes and video's a minute. It's a minute long. In like Europe, there's a lot more nudity and sexual content on television. I heard this a lot growing up. Those of you guys that are in Europe, is that true? Yeah, this is true, right? Okay, so why isn't it in the U.S.? Well, I think the reason is because it's a cultural reason, and it's because advertisers in this culture are responding to the people in the culture, and the people in the culture don't like it. That's the reason, right? Puritans? Yeah, exactly. And so I bet, like, with a lot of companies that are based out of Saudi Arabia, they are probably not advertising on places even like Twitch. They're probably advertising on places that are extremely curated because they're marketing to an audience of people who wants that experience. So I think it's really driven by advertisers. And I want to say one more thing, and then I can keep going to the video. I think being driven by advertisers is incredibly horrible. I think the idea that what we see and don't see on the internet is driven by a for-profit corporation that is amoral by nature is incredibly unhealthy and very dangerous. I'm sorry, but I don't want to have a for-profit corporation that uses slave labor and, you know, maybe worked with the Nazis in the 40s. I don't want to have them be dictating what I can and can't see and what morality should be on the internet. I think it's disgusting. And so whenever people make an accusation or like they make an appeal like, oh, think of the advertisers. Oh, well, the advertisers will leave and that's it, as if this is a good thing because they're going to get their way. I disagree. I think the idea that advertisers have a say in what is effectively controlled free speech on the internet indirectly by funding it is incredibly dangerous, and it's been massively harmful for people talking on the internet and online discourse. It's been tremendously harmful. I think the best example of that is COVID recently. So that's what I think.
And predominantly used by young boys. And the question on everyone's mind is, are these evil Jezebels preying on today's youth, or are they simply the product of capitalism? Clever, sneaky women taking...
I don't see why it can't be both. Obviously, women are trying to prey on men. Clearly, that's obviously what the goal is. They're trying to attract an audience of men to watch them and give them money. That's clearly what's happening. Now, would they do this in a socialist country? Probably, yeah. There's girls that just like the attention. Some girls do it for free. I always couldn't believe it whenever girls would post pictures of their boobs on the internet for free. Like, wow, okay, great, this is awesome.
Advantage of people
like finding a
living
$5
under
bill.
a brutal system in order to
Some of them, it's like
selfishly
a $10
make
bill.
money. Oh yeah, that reminds
Others,
me.
it's a quarter.
Before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor. When you're browsing the internet, you may think
Glasses?
all your personal information is safe on there. Well, you're
No.
wrong. Unfortunately, it's
No.
become all too easy for hackers and data brokers to find all our personal information, including our full legal name, phone number, and
Yep.
even our address.
True.
It's gotten so bad that every 14 seconds, someone becomes the victim of identity theft.
True.
And people who are active on social media, you guys, are more likely to have their data stolen. So I'm excited to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is a company that is dedicated to helping keep your private information private. They identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf, which
This
extend...
is, I don't know why, like in my opinion, I don't think you should opt out of this. I think you should have to opt into it. Like, how is this even legal?
to robocalls, junk mail, and telemarketing lists. Data brokers are legally
crazy.
required to remove your info if you ask them.
Yeah.
But they make it super hard to do so, and that's where Aura comes in. Aura also looks after your email and passwords to assure you your information hasn't been involved in any data breaches. Aura also offers other tools to protect you and your family, like financial fraud protection, VPN, a password manager, parental controls, and even protection from malware. It's super easy to set up and gives you all the tools you need in one place for an affordable price. So if you're concerned about your personal information being out there, check out aura.com/shoeonhead or click the link in the description down below to get a 2-week free trial and see if your personal information has been leaked online. Big thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video, and as always, thank you the viewer for not skipping the ad. Now let's get back to the video. So about 2 weeks ago, this tweet showed up on my Twitter timeline. What's going on with Twitch? Which showed a streamer wearing no shirt, swinging her fun bags around slightly off camera every time she got a donation. So for strictly research purposes, I went to Twitch to see if this was real, and surely enough it was. And it wasn't just one streamer, it was many. It was multiple. It was the entire home page. And then when you went to click on one of the
She's right about this, but it's disingenuous, and it's Twitch's fault that she's being disingenuous about it. So the problem really is that if you actually look at the live channels that are active, you'll see that almost none of them are content like that. Like, this is just some guy, yeah, this is kind of this, but he's just got some girl on camera. I feel like that's not really the content of the stream. If you scroll down and you're looking for a stream like this, and I'm searching by viewership, naturally. Like, I'm not searching for content that's like this, but I'm saying, like, of all the streams that are on the platform, these are all of the streams, and where's the problematic content? Yeah, you're logged in with your cookies. So let me explain why that's not true. You're making a great point if you're talking about recommended, but I'm not looking at recommended.